Here we go. All right. So pretty much the entire exam and the review as well is just about limits. So let's go through this first one. So use a graph to evaluate the limit. If the limit does not exist, type D and E. So whatever. In the actual exam, you'll just write down D and E or explain what the limit is, right? So as you see here, it tells you, please be sure to explain your answer. So the limit as x approaches -1, we'll go to x equals -1 and see what the function is doing. You go from the left and the right. Looks like the limit exists. It's the same on both directions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be what? This is one way up here. So 1, 2, 3. Looks like it's cut in quarters. So 1/2, 1/4, 2/4 is a half, 3/4 1. So the limit should be equal to the y value that it approaches, which is 1/2. So you will simply say as the limit approaches from the left and right, the y value approaches, oh, as the function, I'm sorry, approaches from the left and right, x equals -1, the function approaches 1/2. That's all you have to say. If there's some like algebra to do, then go ahead and do it. But here is very conceptual, right? There's no actual solving anything. It's just explaining what's going on. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's for fun though. Is this continuous?
No.
No, right? Because it
Mm-mm.
fails one of the requirements for continuity. Because the
Mm-hmm.
functional value is defined down here. You see that? Which is different from the actual limit value. The limit must equal the function. It's not defined there, so yeah, it's not continuous. There's not much to write on number one. It's more ideas. Do you understand what's happening and how to solve these kinds of questions?
Kind of, sorta.
Do you have any questions on about the problem?
You just answered mine. I wasn't paying enough attention on how it was gradiated, so that's how I screwed myself.
Yeah, you gotta be careful because up here it's like different scale, right, versus this.
Yep.
So it's as the limit approaches -1.
Yeah, so this little value right here is referring to this -1.
It's 1/2.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
limit is 1/2, right? And these check the answer. Yeah, they put 0.5, but again,
Or 1/2.
I don't really care about the answer. What I want to see is work or a brief explanation. That's it.
Now here, as far as
Mhm.
work, what do you want us to put as work? Because
Now, I'll write it down for you here just for this first one. So
Yeah,
for number
that would
one,
help me.
so what I would like to see is say, um, just put it in plain English. You don't have to use math symbols if you don't want to. As x approaches, well, let's say f of x actually.
I see.
Approaches x equal to -1, the function or y value approaches. Sorry, started writing ugly there for no reason. Uglier than usual, I guess.
Hmm.
There
I
we
had the
go.
beholder.
Approaches. Function or y value approaches 1/2 from both sides, both positive and negative side. This is just plain English. If you want to do it in math symbol, you could say since the limit of f from the negative side what was the value? Yeah, -1. -1 from the left is equal to the limit of f of x as x approaches -1 from the positive. Since they're both equal, this is an arrow, by the way. Yeah, I don't like how that looks.
Don't worry, we know what it means.
Trying to not be too messy, because that can get worse if I don't try.
Same here.
Okay. So since this is equal to that, both limits are equal to each other, which of course is a simple way to say that they're both equal to 1/2. Then the limit exists, right? Exists at 1/2.
So essentially, as long as it's comprehensible, we can use any combination of whether it's English or math as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you get the idea, that's what matters, right?
Okay.
So you explain as to why that limit is negative, is 1/2 rather. And the reasoning is because both limits from left and right are the same, then yeah, it exists. That's what you would say. And it's equal to this, right?
So it doesn't have to abide by like the third rule of continuity for it to exist. It just has to abide by the first two.
Well, if it asks for continuity, it'd be a different problem. All it asks for is explain why the limit exists or does not exist.
Hmm.
Or why is it infinite, if it was.
I think that's further down the line.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure that'll come up in a second. Okay. So here's the answer. It does not exist. But why? Right? That's what math's all about. Why? Use your graph to evaluate the limit. If the limit does not exist, type d/e. If the limit is infinite, type infinity. If the limit is negative infinity, type whatever. Be sure to explain yourself. Okay. So why does this limit not exist?
Is the line not continuous?
Well, if the limit does not exist, that implies there's no continuity. But the converse is not true. If it's not continuous, it doesn't mean the limit doesn't exist. It could still exist.
Because one value is negative and the other one is positive.
Yeah, you see how the limit from the left is not equal to the limit from the right, right?
Yes.
Two completely different lines.
Yeah, so since the limits from both directions are different, you would say the limit does not exist. So for number 2, in math symbols, right, you would just say since the limit of your function as x approaches 0 from the negative side is not equal to the limit of f of x as x approaches 0 from the positive side. Since they're not equal, then the limit as x approaches 0 of f of x does not exist. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can put that in English if you want. Not a big deal. But as you can see,
Whatever's
math symbols are
easiest
shorter.
and quickest for us to write.
Yeah, whatever makes sense in your head, that's what matters. As long
Okay.
as you can explain it to me, great.
Okay. One question about using the Rocket Books. Since I use Rocket Books, they have the auto page numbering and title thing.
Uh-huh.
As long, can I just abide by the Rocket Book auto title format thing that you have to write in the top and it
Yeah, just put,
automatically spits out?
I mean, as long as you upload it in the right spot, once you send it to yourself, it's not a big deal what you name
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because Rocketbook, you can write up on the top of the page the what the title of the file, and on a collection of pages, page one of what page 1, page 2, page 3, and one of the corners as well, and it'll put them in chronological order when you scan them in. If you put them
Yeah,
in
that's fine.
one location,
I don't
it'll
mind. I
automatically
mean, that's
compile
sort of,
everything.
yeah, it's totally fine to use that. No big deal.
Okay.
And
Thanks,
might
I
even
was-
be
I
might even
was-
be better.
Yeah, I was a little confused on that because when I turned it in last time doing that, and I was trying to actually abide by how you had it set up, saying you wanted it done like with the page number at this point. At this point, I was
Can I
writing
go
3 page numbers.
Yeah,
So
I gotcha. Sorry,
Can
someone
you
had a
go
question?
Hold on, I wasn't done.
Oh, sorry.
I got it.
Yeah, there's no rush. You guys have any questions on number 2?
No,
Remember, this question, this review is for you guys, because if you have questions, is now is the time to ask.
I guess I just have a question. So,
Mhm.
however we answer our explanation or give you our explanation, is that what we're going to turn in? Is that what we're scanning and turning into you?
Right, that's what I'm grading, is the
Okay.
actual written work / explanation. For this exam, there's not much problem solving, so it's more explaining and using the theory. So, like, from what I'm looking at, there's very little, like, formulaic kind of problems.
it's just over half of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, but the majority would be just explaining as to why the limit exists or why not, and of course, what is the limit, assuming it exists. So something like this, I would expect, or in your own words, as long as you explain yourself.
Okay,
Any other questions?
not on the problem so far.
Okay, so that was number 2. Let's look at 3. For the function f, whose graph is given, determine the limit. Separate answers with commas if needed. Excuse me. Type in answers respectively in the order listed below. Blah blah blah. If limit does not exist, type D&E. Okay, so he wants us to find the left and right-handed limits. Let's see here. It does not ask for the general limit, right? From both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not too bad, right? So I would just say the limit from the left, as x approaches -1, the y value, or the limit, is equal to -2. The limit from the right, or the plus, right? Plus means from the right. That would be, looks like -7. So yeah, -2, -7. And they said type it respectively, meaning first type this one and then this one. Of course, I would not mark it wrong because I'm going to be looking at your paper, and if you had both of them, you're good. But this exam would mark it wrong, but that doesn't matter. Just to remind you, if you get a question wrong on here, but your work is great, don't worry about it. I still need to grade it. Your grade is not finished until I go through every single problem. Okay. Any questions on number 3? Is that clear? There's not much to really say here.
Yeah, we don't know. It's not much to actually write out.
No, I would just say the limit from the left, as I said, approaches -2, right is -7. There's not too much to explain here.
Explain why it's a open and closed circle, or does that matter?
It does not matter for the limit.
Okay.
If we were looking for
Um,
specific points, that might, but not for the limit.
Like, it probably would matter for continuity if they asked.
So why is it a closed circle?
So you know what do you remember the definition of a function?
Of course.
So you remember how when you draw a vertical line through it, you can only hit the function once, right? Otherwise, it's not a function. So I have to have it open if I'm going to break it up like this. Since it's not connected, I need a solid one there, open one there. If they were both solid, it's not a function.
Mhm.
It could maybe be two functions, but not one function.
Yeah.
And the reason we answer -2 and -7 is because they specify which direction they come from, correct?
Yeah, so x from the negative side, the left side is approaching -1. So that's going to be -2. That's why this is first.
Okay.
Positive from the right.
If they asked just for C, there wouldn't be an answer, right?
If they ask for what?
C, or x approaching -1, just without direction.
Oh, yeah, you would say it does not exist because these limits are not equal to each other.
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of how we answered this guy. So similarly as you answered this one right here, or how I did on paper, you would say the same for this if they asked for that. Any other questions on 4?
No, but I will ask on the whole thing, the D&E, that if we put D&E, it's not case sensitive, right?
Again, I'm going to be grading the handwritten work, but as you can
Okay.
see, there's 2 possible answers.
Okay, just double checking. I
No,
wasn't 100% sure.
So it's a good question.
'Cause sometimes I'll just type D&E and won't bother with the shift key.
It's fine.
So,
Alrighty. Next one then. You guys cool on this one?
yeah.
Okay. So next one, still lots of theory here. Use a graph to evaluate the limit. If the limit does not exist, type D&E. If it is infinite, type this, or actually they want you to type infinity, but again, I'll be grading your handwritten work, so I don't really care what you choose as an answer choice. If the limit is -infinity, type whatever. Okay, so all they want to know is what is the limit of this function as it approaches 0 from the right. So I'm like, okay, well, 0, it never actually gets there. It looks like it's asymptotic at x equals 0. So if I come from the right, it shoots off into -infinity, right? Keeps going downward.
Yep.
But yeah, I would just say, let's put this on paper. This is number 5 or 4? Forgot already.
Which
5.
one?
2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me write down the explanation at least how I would write it. Okay. So the limit of f of x is -infinity because as x approaches 0 from the right, the function approaches -infinity. You can also just say, since there is an asymptote there, as x approaches it, it shoots out to -infinity based on the graph. There's not much to say here, but as long as you can kind of explain what you see, right? Clearly there's an asymptote, so I'd say, yeah, as x approaches it, functional values would goes to -infinity really quickly. And that's it.
So we could theoretically just get away with saying it shoots off into infinity.
Well, you'd have to say -infinity, right?
Well, yeah, my bad, but still.
But yeah, that's not too much to say, but yeah, I would just say that as I approach from the right, my function gets more and more negative due to an asymptote. You could say that too.
So if we have an x approaching from the left, so we have to say negative infinity and positive infinity, right? If we have the
if it was from the
approach,
left
there's only
side,
one.
the limit would be infinite, not negative infinity.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, it depends on the graph, what's going on.
Mhm.
Okay, let's look at number 5. At least I think it's 5. I'm getting all confused. 1, 2,
That's 5.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. Find out points where the function is discontinuous. So now we're finally getting to the continuous type questions. Determine whether the continuity is removable or non-removable. Be sure to explain your answer. Okay. Do you remember I gave you that picture, or it's also in the book, as to which types are considered removable? Do you remember?
Divisible by 0, right?
Well, the division by 0 is usually creates an asymptote or sometimes a hole. We had one case where you could factor it, right, and cancel something that would be removable. And we had another case. Here, let me show you the picture. 1 second. Okay.
So it's removable at 4 because it's simply an undefined point instead of anything else.
Since I think the easiest way to say it would be since the limit of f as x approaches, what is it, 4 you said?
4, yeah.
4 exists, then the, how should I phrase this? Then the x value will be considered removable. So if the limit exists, I think the easiest way to think about it, then it is removable. If the limit does not exist from both directions, they're not equal, then I would say it's not removable. I think that is the easiest way to explain what's going on with number 5 here. So yeah,
Okay.
limit's fine, but there's a hole, so not continuous because of the hole, but removable because the limit is fine. I don't know what it is because they didn't mark it, but you see the idea?
I would almost think it's 2, because that or some type of error.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? It didn't specify, so
Yeah.
some number L, whatever. Does that make sense though? Is this question?
Yeah, it does. Now, at least.
Yeah. So if the limit exists, removable.
Are we allowed to write the graphs on a what's it called?
Like these right here, the ones on the notes or in the book.
Yeah, the ones in the notes. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not necessarily an example, I guess.
Can I see how
Okay.
you wrote the answer again, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Why are there only 4 of us actually bothering to show our faces?
I don't know. So maybe people have a lot of stuff going on in the background.
I have a bad hair day.
I don't exactly look my best, man. I still haven't even had my shower for the night, but I'm still bothering to show my face.
It's all right.
And I'm
I
sweaty
guess.
and covered in sawdust.
Sorry,
Number
there's
6.
no
We're on question 6.
question 6 right here. So there's no, as long as we can't smell through Zoom, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. That probably smell like old pig manure.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
Shoot. I'd turn that off real quick. Put that on mute.
Yeah, probably, or some whatever that the equivalent would be. Yeah.
Hold the nose button. I don't know. All right. So this number 6 here. It's actually pretty easy, right? Because the first thing you try is plug it in. If you're able to plug it in, then great. That's it. So let's try it out.
So just basically, so if we can plug it in, can we just make it? Just say we were able to plug it in.
Yeah, you just literally show your work. So let's do it. So the limit as x approaches 2, x squared plus 2x plus 1. You literally plug it in. So square root of 2 squared plus 2 times 2 plus 1, which would be 4 plus 4 plus 1. Right?
Uh-huh.
So this is the limit, and I showed how I got it. There's nothing else to do or to say here.
It's 3. Oh,
Yeah, limit is 3. So whenever you see a limit where you can plug it in, try it. Sometimes that's all you got to do. If you plug it in and weird stuff happens and you get division by 0 or whatever, then you should probably try something else. And yeah, they got 3.
When is the exam? Test?
I forgot, man. When did I say it was?
Next week?
It should be this weekend, is what you said.
14.
Yeah, the date's on there. Let me check though. Just... All right, so let's factor the top. What does that factor into?
X plus 4, X plus 5.
Yeah, that's right. X plus 4, X plus 5. Then we got this guy down here, so we can cancel now. So now we're able to plug it in, right? So that becomes -4 plus 5. Yeah, sorry. I was looking at the wrong question. I was like, wait a minute, it's not right. So, yeah, 1. I was looking at this one, like, why is it -1?
You're sharing the wrong screen.
I'm not showing it.
Oh,
Well, technically you were showing it, but yeah.
That you see it or? Okay. Any questions on number 7?
nope.
No,
Guess.
not right offhand. That's a plug-in. That's plug-in
Yeah.
chug.
Yeah, when it says algebraic, right? That's what they mean. You factor it, cancel what's in the way, and then you plug it in. That's it. Number 8. Number 8 says the same deal. It says find the limit algebraically. Okay, well, see what's going on here. As x approaches 0, of 5 sine x minus 1. If I plug in 0, what is sine of 0?
1.
It's close. It's 0.
0. Okay.
So this would be 0 minus 1, which is -1. There's not much to do. Just basically plug it in, and then you're good. There's no issues plugging in 0. Okay.
How long are we gonna have to submit our work after we are done with the?
You have 30 minutes once you close the test.
Ready.
Let's
It's gonna be
Make
on
sure-
Respandos on browser lockdown, right?
Yeah.
And let's see, where do we submit the work again?
So the module right after the exam has another module that says upload. So one's just to take the test and the other one is to put your work. And I'm going to be grading the work. Okay, here.
Let's
Are
see.
you supposed to be sharing the notes? Like,
I keep hitting the wrong one. Sorry.
Well, these are, not all of these are gonna be on the test. Some of them
Way
might,
too many
but they're,
windows open.
yeah, I don't think we'll have I don't think he's actually giving us all the exact answers to the test.
No, I mean the test is different.
Yeah, it's like a random generator thing, so he's not really spelling anything.
Yeah, I don't even know what the test looks like. I have to open it up. I would assume it should be similar to the review, but it will be different. I guarantee. Okay,
Is the review
so
worth anything? Sorry.
no, it's not. It's just practice
Okay.
to get you ready. Okay, so limit x plus 4. Okay. I think this one graphing this one would make more sense. Let's get a grapher up. Okay. All right, the function was absolute value, right? Of, well, I could just use this symbol. X plus 4 over x plus 4. All right. So they're asking what's going on in negative 4, right? Clearly the limit does not exist, right? Because the limit on the left from the negative side and the positive side are not equal to each other. And the function is not defined there. So the review said from the positive. The y value is negative, actually
positive.
positive 1. Yeah, that's what they have. Positive 1. If you did not use the graphing method, you can plug in numbers closer and closer to negative 4. But I think that's a real pain.
Yeah,
Personally.
it takes up a lot of time at the very least.
Yeah, I don't recommend it unless you're desperate.
Or glutton for punishment.
Yeah, you could use a definition of absolute value, but yeah, I think that's too much work. Anyway, is there any questions on this guy? Is it clear in how you would do this?
Yeah, for the most part.
How would you like word the answer?
I would word it like we did the first one here. Or where is it?
Second one.
Yeah, like maybe this guy just as a limit approaches from the left. It's equal to whatever. There's not much to say.
Or push to the right or whatever.
Yeah, as a limit is approaching negative 4 from the right, the function goes to 1.
One is negative, one is positive.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to figure out if we're going to use the graphing on Desmos while we're taking the test?
You can, I just don't know how.
Oh.
Like, I mean, I turned it on, but I need to. Let's see. Nobody's gonna take it today, right?
Yeah.
Not tonight, no. I'm gonna try tomorrow, but not tonight.
Okay. Is anyone planning on taking it tomorrow morning?
I might take it tonight.
Tonight.
Oh, tonight.
I was gonna try like tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow late. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna do it in the morning. So I'm no good in the morning. So.
Yeah, I can try to fix it tonight or tomorrow morning. Make sure it's up and running.
Are we gonna do the rest of the questions, the ones at the bottom, or?
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a
How
couple
many,
more.
do you know how many questions is the test?
How many?
14 or 20?
I'll check in a minute.
20?
I'll check after this. Remind me.
Yeah.
I think we're on 10 actually.
Yeah, we're on 10.
Okay. So right away when I see this, I see a square root minus 1. I think I should use a conjugate to get rid of that radical and see if I can do something that helps me out. So let me write this question down. The limit as x approaches 0. So it needs to be the same from both sides, otherwise it won't exist. 1 plus x minus 1 and x on the bottom. All right. So we will multiply by the conjugate. Square root of 1 plus x plus 1. All right.
Would we have to actually add that little note there, or just doing the work is?
Yeah,
fine?
there's just a note for you guys. That's all.
Okay, just double check.
So the reason I decided to do this is because I saw the root minus 1. So this
Okay.
will force it to basically do a difference of squares on the top. So I can get rid of the radical. Okay, so when I do this multiplication, the top will become this piece squared minus this piece squared. And the bottom will have x times that piece I multiplied by. Okay, so then we'll see if some nice algebra comes out. Squaring the radical gives us 1 plus x minus 1 over x times this nonsense.
Craziness, whatever you want to call it.
Now you can see what's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
These ones cancel, leaving me with an x over x times this, and the x's cancel. So now you can plug it in. So take the limit, and you are left with 1 over
2.
square root of 1 plus 0 plus 1, which will be 1/2. Are there any steps that you didn't follow or didn't make sense?
No, yeah, that makes plenty of sense. I really do think we should probably go over the next 2.
You're getting, we're on our way.
Okay, sorry, I forgot I was unmuted.
Just nobody has questions on number 10.
No, not really. You underestimate yourself on how good you are at explaining things, Jack.
Just want to make sure because I don't like moving on and somebody's confused.
Uh-huh.
All right, number 11. Find the limit. All right, well, can we plug it in?
No.
All right.
No.
So we have to look at it graphically or approach it slowly and see what's going on. But we do know that this causes an asymptote, so there's a good chance the limit might not exist. It's not guaranteed, but maybe probably not. So let's see what it looks like. Okay. It was x plus 2, right?
Yeah. 1 over x plus 2.
All right. And it was approaching -2. So there's -2. So from the negative side, it shoots out to -infinity. From the positive side, it shoots out to positive infinity. So yeah, does not exist.
So basically say -2 is an asymptote.
Yeah, I would just say since the limits from the left and right are not equal, the limit does not exist.
Okay. Next,
But-
the wording is what has me. It's what I'm more worried about.
If they ask for, whether or not it came from the left or right side, we could then put infinity.
Yeah,
Right.
right. If it was like only from the, let's say, from the negative side had a minus symbol, you would say -infinity because it shoots down.
Okay.
If they were both to shoot down at the same place, then you could say the limit does exist. It's just -infinity. Okay. Any questions on that problem? You see, a lot of it is just understanding the theory, right?
Yeah, I was just wondering how you. I was just wondering about the wording on it. How you'd explain the D&E.
Yeah, just remember, what is the requirement for a limit to exist?
Okay.
So make sure you have the definition of a limit, or the 3 requirements or whatever.
Mhm.
That way you can see, all right, this doesn't work, therefore it doesn't exist.
Okay.
This guy looks like what somebody was just asking about. Ready? Yeah, so -7's right there. And it said from the positive side, so from the right. So I approach -7 from the right. I shoots off pretty quick due to the asymptote. So yeah, infinity.
Okay.
There's not much to really say here, honestly. As far as explanation, I would just say the limit from the right approaches infinity as it approaches the asymptote, or you could just say -7.
Okay.
Find the limit algebraically using this guy. Okay. So this is ones we did we did some of these in class recently. Do you remember?
Somewhat.
Yes.
We need this to be the same, right? The argument of the sign and the denominator need to be the same to get 1. So I need a 5 down here, right? So
Mhm.
introduce a 5. So for this one, I would require the actual work because it's a problem you can actually work out.
That's question 13.
13. Thanks.
No problem. Man, this Q thing I have comes in really, really handy.
The what now?
I'm literally on my Canvas page handing you the numbers. Cause I have like a little Q up here and down
gotcha.
here. So I'm meant to. So
Nice. All right, so let's put all we need is to put a 5 on the bottom. So in order to do so, we just multiply the top and bottom by 5 because that's the same as multiplying by 1. So I'm not introducing anything new, right? So then you just take that 5 on top, put it in front, right? Property of limits lets you pull numbers out. And then we'll leave that 5 down here, 5 times x, and just take our limit. So that would be 5, which is this 5, times the limit, which is actually 1. So this guy is the limit.
So the answer is 5.
No, the last two are extra credit type questions, so I'm not going to help you.
Okay.
You have any questions on any of the other problems?
So far, all mine have been answered.
Need to practice now a little bit. I need to practice a little. Just to understand it, you know.
What about me?
No, Professor.
What's up? Sorry.
No, I don't have any questions. I said that I need to practice a little bit
Okay.
in the next few days.
Are the extra credit going to be on derivatives? Is that
Actually, let me look at the test real quick. Give me a sec.
You said the test is already unlocked. Do we have to take the review before it'll like show us or pop up?
That could be, yes. Let me check. I think it is set up that way. Okay. Can you see this or no?
Yeah.
I can.
Get away from that glare. There. Anyway. Cotangent is simply 1 over tangent, right? So we can do either 1 divided by tangent or do tangent and then -1. So it's pi x, right? Pi x is going to be, the first one is a negative 5.5 divided by 5. All right. Make sure that's a times there. Shoot. All right. So you see it's tangent times this divided by 5, right? Now to make it a cotangent, I'm going to put -1 on it. So the first one looks like -16. So then I would do the next one and go in there and just plug in 5.1. Do it again. But first, let me check, am I in radians? I am not. So I got to redo that. So let's do the first one. Second one. And if you don't want to do it that way, you could also say 1 divided by tangent and then do pi parentheses -5.1 divided by 5 if you want to.
I guess I was just, I don't know. I guess I just confused myself when I was trying to do the math on my calculator. I'm like, why am I not getting it? But now I got it. Seeing the way you input it.
Yeah, it can be weird trying to plug stuff in sometimes because there is no cotan button, right? So you got to kind of force it yourself.
Yes.
Oops.
Okay, I think I got that one. And then I also had a question on number 10.
Okay, 1 second. Give 1 moment. Okay. Number 10, you said, right?
Yes.
So let's find the vertical asymptote. Oh, it looks like it'd be whatever causes division by 0. That's what creates vertical asymptote. So I would simply say x equals 1.
See, I think I just brain farted with the last ones. I think I was just done.
Maybe you put 1 and not x equals 1 because they won't take it.
Okay.
Yeah,
lot of
that's
people
what happened
did
to me first time around.
Yeah, you guys were not the only ones. So this guy would be similar, right? Except you can factor the top.
Although at least that one you don't have to worry about.
Thank you.
At least number 11 you don't have to worry about the input issues.
Yeah, this would be removable, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mr. Gonzalez, I got the same problem number 6. I plug it in all the numbers and I didn't get them.
Number 6.
What did you get?
This one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, I got 3.5 instead of 5.5.
3.5?
Yes, but I mean, I just need to know if I have to plug in negative 5.5.
Yeah, you have to plug it in just like that. So you would do it this way, right? 1 divided by parentheses because it's on the bottom. Something squared, so that's going to be negative. But use a negative symbol, not minus. 5.5 squared minus 25. That's all on the bottom. Is that what you got?
Well, as I said, I got 5.5. Let me see.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
I guess to send it out on GroupMe whenever you get the test fixed. So then I'll at least know, and then I'll get so I can get it taken.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so I have to put the parentheses. Okay.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. The parentheses. Okay.
You could also do it this way if you forget. You can do create a fraction. So you can do 1 on the top, and the bottom put 1 whatever, right? Squared minus 1 or minus 25, right? So you get to hit alpha and then y equals. You can choose fractions notation.
Okay.
But either way, parentheses is fine too.
Would you be able to go back to number 10 from the review?
Oh, from the review, let me find it.
I just missed the last part of it.
Okay, let me find it. 10 was this one, right? In the notes or the question itself?
The notes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess you'll put that out. I'm heading out.
What's up?
I guess you said you'd put that on GroupMe when you get it fixed.
Yeah. I just need I need to call my call a couple of people to find out why it's not. Because I can turn it on. Just students don't know how to find it. So I'm like, okay, I just don't know what it looks like from your end.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Oh, there's no like add a tab button or anything like that. So it's.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, but yeah, it's Okay, so I'll in that case I'm signing off. I'll see you guys later.
See you later, man.
See ya. I had a quick question about something I was just saying when I clicked some of the assignments.
Yep.
It kept on saying that everything was kind of past due, even though I finished them a long time ago. And I think they're graded, and I do think I had them, yeah, I received the grades, but I don't really know. Yeah.
Are you talking about in? Okay, so it's saying they're late inside WebAssign.
Yeah.
And does it still show your grades though?
When I'm in Canvas, yeah.
What about in WebAssign?
WebAssign, it says I got 100, but passed due as well. So just wanted to make sure there was no issue.
Let me check real quick. I don't think so, but let me check. 'Cause I've been moving the dates around for people, so it might have made things a little weird. Let me see what's going on. What's your last name?
Alba, ALBA.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, it looks like all your grades are here. Yeah, I don't know if they're. Well, I guess I could check. Oh yeah, here it is. Out of 20. Yeah, they're all there.
All right.
Everything up until. I'm assuming you haven't started 3.1, right?
3.1, not yet.
Okay, because you have 0. It says not 0, but it's blank up after that point.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Everything else is great.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
You as well. All right. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
See you later, man.
All right, man. Thank you.